Have you ever heard a story that just sticks with you? One that makes the hair on your arms stand up and sends a little shiver down your spine? Well, I've got one for you today, and it's about a place that defies explanation. It's a story that's been passed around in hushed tones, a local legend about a very peculiar bridge. Imagine this, a long, old bridge stretching over a deep, dark gorge. It's not just any bridge, it has a reputation. People who cross it, especially when they're alone, report something truly unsettling. They hear a voice calling out to them from the chasm below. Now, this isn't just any voice, it's their own. Their own voice, but changed. It sounds older, weathered, as if it's been echoing in that gorge for years, decades even. It calls their name, a faint, wispy sound carried on the wind. Most people, understandably, freak out, they run, they don't look back. They chalk it up to the wind playing tricks or their own mind creating phantom sounds in a spooky place. It's a creepy story they'll tell their friends, but nothing more. But this is where the real legend begins. What happens if you don't run? What happens if you stop, lean over the railing and answer? The stories say that almost no one is brave enough or perhaps foolish enough to do it. The voice is just too unnerving, too personal. It's one thing to hear a ghost, but to hear your own ghost? That's a whole different level of terrifying. It feels like a premonition, a dark echo of a future you can't yet see. The sound is described as being filled with a profound sense of regret and loneliness, a desperate plea from the darkness. Over the years, many have crossed the bridge. Most just hurry along, maybe pulling their collars up a little tighter, quickening their pace. They might hear a faint whisper of their name and dismiss it. But a few have stopped, they've listened. They've stood there, frozen, staring down into the abyss as their own aged voice drifts up, calling to them. The instinct to flee is overwhelming, it's primal, your brain screams at you, this is wrong, get out of here. And for good reason it seems. The core of the legend centers on those who ignore that instinct. There are tales, urban myths really, of people who have vanished from that bridge. The most famous one, the one that cemented the bridge's reputation, is about a man named Arthur. Arthur was known as a skeptic, a guy who laughed at ghost stories and local folklore. He heard the tales about the bridge and decided to see for himself. He went there one evening, just as twilight was settling in. According to the friends he was supposed to meet later, he was going to debunk the whole thing. He walked out to the middle of the bridge, the wind whistling through the old metal framework, and then he heard it. Arthur? A voice that was unmistakably his, yet raspy and ancient, as if pulled from the throat of a much older man. It was faint, but clear. His friends later said Arthur was never one to back down from a challenge. Instead of running, he stopped. He leaned over the cold iron railing, peered into the growing darkness below, and shouted back, "I'm here, what do you want?" And then nothing, just the wind. The story goes that in the exact instant he replied, Arthur vanished. He was there one moment, a solid figure against the fading light, and gone the next. Not a fall, not a jump. Just gone, poof, he was never there at all. His car was found parked at the end of the bridge. His wallet and keys were still inside. An extensive search of the gorge below found absolutely nothing. No sign of a fall, no body, no trace of him whatsoever. Arthur was simply erased. Since then, the legend has only grown stronger. The bridge is now a place most people avoid, especially after dark. They say the voice still calls, waiting for someone else to answer. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? That your own future, or some twisted version of it, could be waiting for you in the dark, calling you to join it. What does it mean? Is it a warning? A trap? Is it your own soul, lost to some terrible fate, trying to lure you into the same abyss? The theories are endless. Some say it's a time slip, a strange temporal anomaly where you hear your future self, who somehow ended up trapped in the gorge. By answering, you seal that fate, creating a paradox that instantly removes you from the timeline. Others believe it's not your voice at all, but a malevolent entity, a mimic that uses the most familiar and trusted sound in the world, your own voice, to trap you. It learns your voice, ages it with sorrow, and uses it as bait. Answering it is like accepting its invitation into wherever it comes from. The story of Arthur and the vanishing has become a cautionary tale. a warning against tempting fate and meddling with things we don't understand. It preys on a fundamental fear, the fear of ourselves, the fear of what we might become. That older, regret-filled voice from the dark. Maybe it's a version of us that made a terrible mistake, and maybe answering it is making that same mistake. So, if you ever find yourself on a long, lonely bridge and you hear a familiar voice calling your name from the depths, what would you do? Would you run for your life, your heart pounding in your chest, or would the curiosity be too much to bear? Would you risk it all to answer that echo of yourself? It's a terrifying question. The story of the bridge doesn't offer any answers, only a lingering sense of unease and a single, chilling piece of advice. Sometimes it's better not to answer when you're called. Some mysteries are best left unsolved. Thank you so much for watching and diving into this creepy legend with me. If you have any stories like this from your hometown, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into the unexplained. Stay safe out there and maybe take a different route next time.